Hi everyone and welcome back to Trucking Along, and today we're going to be using this stamp set and some words from the Gone Fishing. So let's do a little bit of mixing and matching. We're also using the birthday paper, which is 6x6, the Signer series paper from our annual catalogue, and I'm going to use this side today. So let's get down and get started. Okay, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to cut our paper, and this is our designer series paper, and we're going to cut it at 13, and this is going to be a horizontal card, and we're going to score it at, what did I do that one at? 13.5, sorry, 13.5, and we're going to score this one at 9.5. I think I said that wrong to start off with. You always have a little bit left over, but don't throw that away because you can always use that for other cards, okay? So that's the front of our card. So we're going to, I was sort of thinking, looking and thinking, oh my God, what are we going to map this in today? Just remember that the Trucking Along is our online exclusive stamp set. So yeah, you need to think about that too. So I was thinking Starry Sky. I was thinking that would look really lovely with it, and we'll do it on white card. So yeah, I might get 2 mats out of that bit, and then we'll just grab a white card base. Okay, so I'm going to cut this one down. This is the base card. I'm going to cut it at 10.5. And then I'm going to turn it around and I'm going to score it at 14.5. Now, the score blade is our light grey one. It's very easy to cut it. So we're going to score that over. And I'm just looking at my paper, which is quite interesting that it's not straight. So I'm just going to line that up down the bottom there. And I'm just going to line that up the top at 10.5. Okay, and just trim that off straight, because sometimes the papers aren't straight. I don't know why, but it just isn't. And then line it up at 14.5 and trim this end off as well. Okay, so we're having a card that's going to open up like this, which is horizontal, which I love the horizontal cards. Okay, so, and then we're going to do 2 mats, and we're using the Starry Sky. So the mats are going to be 14 centimetres. And then we're going to cut them off at 10 centimetres. So we want one for the outside, and we want one for the inside, which is 10 centimetres again. So 14 by 10 for the inside. And then we just need one white one for the inside, and that's going to be 9.5. And I had this little bit of white scraps over there, so I'm going to use that. 9.5 by 13.5 for the inside, so you can write on it. Don't throw these away because you can always do little tags on that, which we might do a little bit later. Okay, so we have all our card pieces here now. Now we're going to work out our stamping part for the inside. And I'm sort of thinking I will cut a little bit for this, and I like to do about 7.5. I think that's a really good frame. And then I like to do probably about 10. 10 by 7.5 is pretty good, or even 10 by 7 is really good. Let's do 10 by 7. And then we can just do our mat to go with that. So 10 by 7 for there. And then our mat in our Starry Blue is going to be 10.5. So if you wanted to, you could cut it down 10.5 like this. because this way it will give you a card base. So you can put that one aside for a card base and then come in at 7.5. And that's going to give you a mat. Okay, so this is going to be just a sweet little card. Not too hard. Oop, my paper trimmer doesn't want to go down there today. Okay. So this is the bit that we're going to stamp on first. So we're going to do our stamping first. And because we're using our beautiful truck one, and this is two set stamping, as I have said before, and this time we're going to stamp it out on a piece of paper and we're going to punch it out. So we're going to bring this up, and you can use some of your scrap white pieces that you have to do your stamping on. That's not a problem. So we're going to use the Memento Black. And we're going to stamp this out. Don't stamp on that bit yet. We're going to do some colouring on that one. Okay, so out with our truck. Now this bundle comes with the punch. So you get the stamp set and the punch in a bundle, which is really great. I love, and you save 10% by buying it as a bundle. So I love that idea. Now, when you're looking at this, you need to look at your punch. Your punch goes in this way. So you can sort of see that your punch goes in this way. So you know then that your truck needs to be going up this way. Okay. So I like to stamp out my punch, stamp out my image, I mean, and then trim this off to punch. So I'm not getting all the images, because I don't want all the images today. I just want this bit here. And that way we can slide it through into the punch. Okay, which is really, really good. Okay, so now this can actually slide through into the part that I want to punch out. Now, the good thing about when you're punching is that when you actually squeeze your punch together, the card won't move, okay? And then you can sort of hold it up and have a bit of a visual to make sure that it's in the right spot. Okay, let me see if I can do it up this way and hold it for you so you can sort of see what I'm talking about. Okay, so I've got a pretty tight, I had a pretty tight firm grip on that. Okay, let's do that one more time. You can sort of see that you do need to have a little bit of a grip on it. So have a bit of a grip on it, and then you can sort of see where it needs to go, and then you can punch it out. Okay, so that's awesome. I love that idea. So, and that way you're not getting everything as well. You're not getting all the other little images that you might want. I did cut out some of these images earlier in some blue just to show you. This little piece here you would stamp out is the little hubcap thing here or over the car. This one would be, you could add tyres in over the top if you wanted to. And this piece here would be blocking sort of like the window area here. So yeah, have a think about your pieces when you're cutting them out as well. But we're going to use this one, and we're going to do some colouring in on this. So I've got some blends here, beautiful blends, and we're going to do the colouring instead of the stamping image. It is a two-step stamp, so you can just stamp your image of colour straight over the top of it. But let's do a little bit of highlighting today, like a little bit of two-toning. So we're going to come in with like a pool party lighter colour at the back here. Okay, so we're going to go down here. Now, if you haven't used our alcohol blends before, they are absolutely amazing to use. And I would only press lightly on them. You don't need to press hard on them. Okay, so just press lightly on them, and you'll get such a great image, you don't want to flatten your point if you can help it, so you don't want to press hard on it. I wouldn't suggest for the kiddies to play with them because they're not really a marker or something that I would probably have my grandchildren play. I like to have a little bit of control over it with them. So I usually let them use them, but keep an eye on what they're doing so they're not pressing too hard. Kids seem to have a habit of wanting to press really hard with markers or texters or whatever, so just be mindful of that. Now we're going to come in over around here. Now this is just one layer of the blend at the moment, and you can come over with 2 layers if you want to. And we're going to use the boho blue to do the little guards here. So we're going to use boho blue. We're going to darken it up a little bit around this bit here. So we're having like a bit of a 2-tone truck. That's okay, we're allowed to have whatever we like. That's the good thing about designing your own card. You can do it however you want to do it. So we're going to bring this in here. Okay, now I've sort of want to come in with the sort of a little bit of the window frame on that door in the same colour. So I'm going to come down in this area here and along this top area here. And I just want to bring it into our door part here. And you sort of can come along to the line and then come down here and bring it into our door, having a bit of a darker door. Okay, so you can use the colours whatever you want, and then you can sort of come back and highlight a little bit too, and highlighting with your darker pen. So you the 0.5 end of the pen, and you sort of can just come around and do some shadowing, okay, around the lines. And a little bit of shadowing through here. You can do this little bit dark here. So just do a little bit of shadowing through there. And sort of when you bring that shadowing in, you can sort of then come in with your pool party. And now we're going to go over the whole lot and just blend all this in. So you can just blend all this in. And you can see that it, bringing that lighter colour now over the dark, it will give it like a little mottly effect. It's quite interesting how it works, the blends. Okay, so blend this in. Okay, so I'm going to hold that up because I don't know if you can quite see it, but it gives you a little bit of a mottly effect, which is really great. I love that effect on it. Now we're just going to come in with the tires, and we're going to use the light petal path. So we're going to come in with just the pen end, the fine end, and we're just going to come in and do around the tires. And then we're just going to do the little center part of the hubcap as well. And if you wanted to, you could, wrong colour, add blue, just do the little bumper bar at the back and at the front here as well. Even the little steering wheel if you wanted to. Okay, now when you think about it, this is going to go onto here. And the good thing about, you've got to look at what your background's like. So bring it in on the background and you can sort of see what you're going to be bringing this card in like. Okay, and you've got your truck here, so you've sort of got an image whether you want to pop some trees in here. It's got some really gorgeous little trees in here. You can even have a flower bed coming down here if you wanted to. There's so much you can sort of do. You could have some gravel. This little image here is the speckles for on here, but you could make that like little gravel part down the bottom here, which we're going to do today just to give you a little bit of a look of something a little bit different. So we're just going to work on our white piece of card now, and we're going to come in with the I sort of think I might go with the petal path. I think I'll go with this colour for this bit down here. Okay, so we're going to come in and we're going to do like a little path area sort of thing down the bottom here. And it's quite amazing how you can use these stamps however you want. You don't have to use them for exactly what they tell you to or what they're designed for. So you sort of can see we've got this little pattern happening here, that we've got our little road happening here, petally path road. It reminds me of when we walked around Barcelona. I had a lot of like this sort of thing on the road. So you can sort of see we're going to have this coming through here. Now we're sort of building up our picture and we're going to have that down the bottom. So we're going to work out what we're going to have on the top now. So you can even come up a little bit further if you wanted to, depending on how much you wanted to put of this on. And okay, so we've gone with that. And this is the petal path colour I've used. So we've got some nice little tree images here. So we could add a little tree in here. So I'm going to add one over this side actually, on the tree, because I don't want to add too many, but I want to add them over to this area. Okay, so we're going to come in with our basic black. And this is how you sort of build up your picture or your background. So we're going to have one there. We might have one down just a little bit lower, so you sort of can see they're like that. You could even have one over this side if you want to, up a bit higher. And then you can even have one up a little bit higher if you want to. Okay, so it's coming off the page, it doesn't matter. And then we're going to get the image that fills it in. So you can colour these trees in if you wanted to, but let's share the just using the old olive, and we're going to use this second part of the two-step stamp. Okay, so you can do these differently. You can stamp off and make them really, really light. So you can have this one like a lighter tree. Okay, or you can come down and do it really, really dark. So you have a lighter and a darker one. So we can have this one really dark. And then you can stamp off and have this one even lighter. So you can get the different colours of the shades of the trees happening there on there. Looks a bit funny when you do it like this and you're sort of thinking, how's this going to work? But it does work. Okay, so now you can either use a blend again. I'm going to use the light pecan pie colour to come down and do my stems. Okay, so we can come in here and do our stems. The same up here. And the same here. Okay, so we've got our little truck here somewhere, and we can sort of see that this is going to come in around here. So you can see why I did that one a bit higher up. It doesn't matter because this is going to go in. So we're going to do some sponging now over the top of this, and we're going to use the blue. So we're going to come in with some blue. So I think we'll come in with boho blue for the sky, and we'll bring in starry sky as well. So we want to come in with a lighter effect. So we want to come in and start coming through, and it doesn't matter if you go over the top of your trees. It's not going to hurt them because we're not pressing hard enough. When you go over the trees, you press more gentle. So we do want a little bit of white left in there as well, because for that light shadowing effect. But you can come in a couple of times around the top of the, to get it a little bit darker in some areas if you want to. Okay, so you don't have to have it all quite exactly the same. So you can sort of see that we've come in and we've got a little bit of dark area here. We've got lighter. If you don't like the dark area, you can come in a little bit more and spread that out a little bit. Okay, so just keep doing little circular motions until you sort of blend it right out, and you might want to blend it out a little bit more, so you just keep coming in and blending it. Little circle motions, and you'll start getting it to blend through. Now you can blend it downwards too, so you can sort of come in little circular motions and blend that. Keep blending until it blends into the way you want it to look. Okay, so you can sort of get it to look the way you want. Then you can come in with the green or brown, but we're going to come in with the pebble path because that's what colour we've used down here, but we're going to do it very lightly. We're not going to do it really dark. Okay, so I'm going to get some on the blender brush, and then I'm just going to blend over the top of this. Okay, I don't want it really, really dark, but I just want to change the colour a little bit. Okay, so you can sort of see I've got it blended in there, but not really, 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 really dark. You've got your picture starting to build up now. Now you can add a lot more to it if you want to, but we're not going to add more to it today. We're just keeping it a little bit simple for the steps for you to learn how to do a little bit of blending, how to do a little bit of two-step stamping, and how to use your punch. So there's lots of little different techniques and gold nuggets throughout this little video today. So I hope you enjoy it because there's so much you can do. Now this one here, you can either put down flat or you can actually use dimensions behind it to make it raise up. And it's really a choice thing what you want to do there. So I'm going to use some dimensions. Oh, they're my little ones. I don't want the little ones. But I've got some edging here that I do want to use up from the little ones. And this is a good time to use up some of this edging. So on your dimensions. So, okay, so we're going to come in here and here. And then I'm just going to put one up through there, which is really good. So, and then this is going to sit up here on here. And you can sort of see why now that little tree is higher up there, because it looks like now it's behind the truck, which is fantastic. And that's what you sort of want. Okay. So with the words, sending you sunny thoughts is a really lovely little word. So we might use something like that, or we might decide to come in with something from the other set, which I was saying before, using the gone fishing. And I sort of think happy retirement is a really good one. You could even put congratulations. So let's put this together first, and then we'll work out where the word is going to go. Okay, so we're going to just use our Tombow liquid glue, which I love because it's got two ends to our Tombow glue. A lot of people don't realise it's got two ends. It's quite funny sometimes when I talk to people and say you can use the fatter end or the thicker end. So it's got two ends. Okay, so you can have glue either end, depending on what you're doing, whether you're doing a bigger piece or a small. I like for my card making to use the finer end. So we're going to bring this in here. Now, if you wanted to bring anything else in here before you put it on your card, you can. And I mean, we have this beautiful ribbon here. It's like a twine. So yeah, I love this. It's like an interlock one. So I'm just going to put a little row of that on there. You don't have to do anything really special. We're just going to have a little row of that on there, just to bring out a little bit of ribbon and use a little bit of ribbon on it. And I'm going to use my tear tape because I love using tear tape on the back of my ribbon. So I'm just going to put that over the top. Once you've got that where you want it, just come back over to and pull it over and use some more tear tape. Now, some people like to use the tear tape more than the liquid glue because it's not messy and it's not sticky. Okay, it's something that you can use. But I like to use my liquid glue 99% of the time. So we can have this coming over here, or we can have it more over this side, or you can have it centered. It's entirely up to you where you want it. And I'm sort of looking at this and thinking, you know, might not even need a word on the outside, but you can put one if you want. Okay, so I'm just using the glue, and I'm just going to glue this down onto here. Just going to hold it a little bit because that's going to raise it up just a little bit. And you can use dimensions if you want to, but if you do use the glue, just hold it for a few minutes. Okay, so while that's drying a little bit, we're going to do the inside. We're just going to put our Starry Sky mat. Now, lots of people use different techniques and terms for their layers. Some people call it layer 1, layer 2, layer 3. I just like calling this a mat. And this is my white mat that will go over the top of that, where you can write your greetings or just write a beautiful letter to someone if you're thinking of them. So put this one in here and then come back and we can glue this one onto the front. Now, with your tear tape, you can take the backs off them if you want to, because it will help where that is stick. If it's a bit hard to get up, a little tip is to rub it very solid at each end. Okay, so you can use your bone folder for this if you want to, or your nail, and then you'll see that it lifts off really easy. So make sure that you sort of press down pretty hard at the ends, and then you'll see that it lifts off really easy. That's probably the easiest way to get it off. Okay, so coming back, I don't like going too close to the edge because then if you're using liquid glue, it can pop out and it's not very nice. It can get very sticky around the outside of your card, and you don't really want that either, because it will leave brown marks if you run your fingers over it or something like that. So you don't really want that happening either. So I love the way the paper, the Designer Series paper, comes from white to lighter to darker, and I love the way it blends in with the sky that we've done as well. Now, I think this would be a happy retirement, a lovely happy retirement. So I'm going to go happy retirement because it's funny how sometimes you're just looking for that little retirement one and you can't find it. When someone's retired from work, it's, you know, getting to that stage where we know a lot of people at our age that are starting to retire. So, yeah. I'm going to use the Starry Sky because I think that's really lovely, and my Starry Sky is really wet, so I've just got to be mindful not to press into it too hard because we don't want that to smudge. So I'm going to just stamp this on to my card here, Happy Retirement. And you can sort of then hold this up and see where you want to place it. But I'm going to actually cut around it because sometimes I like to do this. And we do have some words that you have dies that will cut around for you. They're fantastic as well. So might use that in another one. But today we're just going to actually cut around it. And you can always do like 2 places too. You can have the Happy Retirement going across the top here, so you can do that as well. So you could actually cut through there and then have just the Happy and Retirement alongside of it. So it depends what you want to do with it, but I'm going to do a little bit of cut around today and follow the letters around and get that little happy in there, and then come across here, come down here. Now this is pretty straight on the sides and pretty straight across the bottom. Okay, so just match them up a little bit, make sure that they're nice and how you want them. And then we're going to have this Happy Retirement in there. Now, if you don't want this starky white, looking too white, you can come in with your blue. I don't want to use that one because that's the granite. But Petal Path, I want to use this one. It's blue, so we're just going to come in with this around. Not too much. I haven't even put any ink onto this. I'm just coming through with what ink was on the brush, left on the brush. Okay, because we don't want it too dark, but we just don't want to take it to that starky white either. So we just want to come in with that. And then you can come down and you can sort of just add that little bit of blue in there as well. And we're going to have this on here. Or I think just up here would look nice. So we're going to use dimensions on this. Now I'm going to show you a little trick, because when you use dimensions and you've got a little bit of a mat there, you're going to need a little bit of a stand up. So we're going to put 2 little ones down the bottom here. One in there. And if it's a little bit big, just trim it off before you trim that little bit off. And we're going to, I might just cut this one first, take that little bit off. You can use that on another one, put that in here. Now on this bit here, it's going to be on this bit here, which is a little bit lower down. So what you will need to do is cut 2 exactly the same. So 1, 2. And we're going to place this one on here, take the top off, and then we're going to place this one on top of it. It just raises it up just that little bit more. And then we're going to take our bottom bits off here. Just going to make sure that's okay. Okay, so now we're going to bring this up here, and it's going to sit up really just perfect, because this one's had a second layer on it, so it's not going to fall down. So this is our card today. I'm just going to come up and say hello to everyone. Hello everyone, welcome. So how gorgeous is that card? I know the writing's around the wrong way, sorry about that guys, but it's showing you what you can do using your stamp set and using all the little images, like this little image that we use for the road today. Just makes it a little bit more interesting. So I hope you enjoyed that today, and I will see you in the next classroom. God bless you all, and bye for now.